Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the U.S. Capitol building. If you've joined us today for the insurrection, please make sure you pick up a promotional leaflet on the way in, stay inside the safety cordons at all times, and if you get lost, speak to one of our Capitol police officers. They'll be sure to point you in the right direction. And be sure to set aside a little time today to join us for some insurrection activities, including our photography tour, our fancy dress competition, and have a go on our climbing wall. But don't forget those safety ropes. And I've now received the results of our fancy dress competition. The winner today is Jacob Chansley. That's Mr. Jacob Chansley. If you could report to your nearest Capitol police officer, they'll be sure to give you your prize, a guided tour of the building.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering with a special Saturday video. Getting caught up, got to do some shorts today and got to get all the latest news in. Actually, some shocking good news for Trump, as not only is the man prosecuting him in one case on the run, or recently captured now after going on a manhunt because he's corrupt, but also it looks like the judges in the New York appellate court seem extremely skeptical of the other judgment against him, and many believe they are likely to overturn it. This man just keeps winning, and I just have to report some good news for once. Now, by the way, also in the good news, I had an actual team of people proofread that Trump cookbook, and they found 3 or 4 other little things. So I'm so glad they caught it. It goes to print now Monday morning. So I'm going to leave it up for sale. The printer said I have to give a final number to them when I submit the final draft. It's going to be bound, spiral bound, so it can lay flat. The front page is laminated. It's full of 42 hilarious Trump-themed recipes, like the Kamala Harris tuna meltdown, Kamala's unburdened by what has bean casserole, so many more than that are on the actual website. And it goes to support what I'm doing with Tailgates for Trump. It makes an awesome gift for a Trump fan in your life. I'm only printing them one time ever, so I know it's a little early for Christmas, but it looks like there's 120 left right now. I'm going to let it ride until Monday, because what's the difference if I have to print 10 more, 20 more books on Monday? So if you're thinking about getting it and you missed out, last chance order. I should have them back by the end of the week, and then I will spend the next weekend shipping them all out. And don't forget to put your email address over at Tailgates for Trump. Let's go back to Nathan Wade.
Lover boy Nathan Wade is missing. The House Judiciary Committee, which is investigating Georgia DA Fani Willis, needs Wade to testify at a hearing tomorrow on their love affair. But no one can find the guy. They're trying to serve him, but he's flown the coop, and now the U.S. Marshals are in a manhunt to track him down.
That seems like a extremely innocent man. This is the guy, by the way, that was supposed to be prosecuting Donald Trump in Georgia. Of course, the U.S. Marshals have caught him. He was found and served a subpoena for after multiple days of searching for him. Former Fulton County, Georgia Special Prosecutor Loverboy Nathan Wade, who is screwing his way to the top, has been found and served a subpoena by the House Judiciary Committee after days of searching. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported on Friday that the subpoena had finally been served Thursday after Wade discovered that U.S. Marshals had been deployed to search for him and contacted the committee to accept the subpoena. Well, he knew he had screwed up. Details of when. So this guy is corrupt, obviously. The case is completely falling apart in Georgia. The classified document case is completely cooked. I'm sorry, that's in Georgia. The documents case in Florida is completely cooked. Completely. I should have probably put that in the cookbook. And then Donald Trump going on, just absolutely roasting Nancy Pelosi yesterday.
But they went in there, and everyone knows they threatened the 25th Amendment. They threatened him with the 25th Amendment. They said, Joe, you're going to get out. And Nancy Pelosi led the charge. And Nancy Pelosi has a little problem because her husband sold their Visa stock. They had a lot of Visa stock one day. before Visa was announced that Visa is being sued by the Department of Justice. Think of that.
I mean, wow, what a lucky guess. I mean, literally, if you had, the only stock I own is some Rumble stock that I buy out of solidarity every once in a while. But like, all you have to do is follow Nancy Pelosi's stock trades and you probably get super rich. I mean, she's already super rich, but she keeps obviously using, it's my opinion that it's obviously using, she's using insider information to make a lot of money, sell their stock, short stocks, all this kind of stuff. It's an open secret that these people in government are profiting from insider knowledge. That's why they all end up worth millions and millions of dollars. It's sick. It's corrupt. When you're in the government, you shouldn't be able to, if you choose a government position, you shouldn't be able to buy, trade, or sell any stocks, and neither should your family member or any close family member of you. I mean, I just don't know how else you can do it. I don't know how you'd even enforce that, but it's totally corrupt. Also, in the good Donald Trump news, a 5-judge panel hearing President Trump's appeal of the Judge Engoron's ridiculous civil fraud case that ordered Trump to pay $454 million appears inclined to toss out the entire ruling. First of all, for those of you who don't know, it was essentially like people overinflating or underinflating various properties for loan reasons. All the banks that issued the loans got all of their money back. There were actually no victims in the case. The judge, in my opinion, which was wildly corrupt, stretched every conceivable interpretation of the law, statute of limitations, and more to try and charge him with this. And then a corrupt judge, I believe, led a jury to convict him. He is, I believe, the only person ever in New York who's ever done this. Many people like Jon Stewart, who famously criticized Trump for doing this, also did that as well. It's what everybody does. It's very common in the real estate industry. If you want to get rid of it, then apply the law evenly. This article from Reuters. Appellate judges skeptical of New York civil fraud case against Trump. September 26th, appeals court judges signaled skepticism on Thursday towards the civil fraud case brought by the New York state against Donald Trump, as former president asked them to toss out the $500 million judgment against him over real estate practices that a trial judge declared fraudulent. Justice Arthur Engoron, who I believe Jim goers called creepy, if I remember correctly, ordered Trump, the Republican candidate, in the November 5th presidential election to pay $454.2 million to the city so they can pay for their migrant overflow in penalties and interest for inflating his net worth to dupe lenders and insurers into giving him better terms. Now, again, all of those lenders and insurers got paid. There is actually 0 victims in this case. The civil case was brought by the corrupt New York State attorney, Letitia James. Remember when Crowder's expose hit not that long ago and other people in the state's attorney's office said that the whole thing was absolute nonsense? That they thought somebody in the attorney general's office in New York was like, this case is ridiculous. I mean, they were doing this to try to interfere with the election, in my opinion. Members of the 5-panel judge of the appellate decision, the mid-level state appellate court, hearing arguments in Trump's appeal, appeared concerned about overreach by wannabe famous loser Letitia James. 2 of the judges interrupted Judith Vale, the lawyer arguing for New York, during her opening statement to ask if there were any other examples of the state suing over private business transactions between sophisticated partners under a law aimed at protecting market integrity, meaning it's never been prosecuted before. This is clearly lawfare. Quote, every case that you cite involves damages to consumers, damages to the marketplace, Justice David Friedman told Vale. We don't have anything like that here, Friedman said, saying that nobody lost money. I mean, if that's how he feels, they're going to overturn this. They're going to overturn his conviction. That's what I'm guessing. The judges also wondered about what constraints applied to the law that Letitia James even cited in bringing the case. One that is typically to go after fraudsters who target vulnerable customers. Quote, how do we draw a line or at least put up guardrails, Justice Peter Moulton said. Vail, the state's deputy solicitor general, said that the statute known as the executive law is broadly aimed at stopping fraud and illegality and therefore appropriate in Trump's case. However, when risk is injected into the market, that does hurt counterparties and it does hurt the market value as a whole, but it actually doesn't because the judges themselves said that the loans were repaid and that there was no damage done. Trump's lawyer, John Sawyer, told the judges that the trial testimony showed that any discrepancies in Trump's net worth were irrelevant to his lenders. Quote, what is not disputed is the testimony that if the net worth had been as low as $1 million, the deal would have been exactly the same. Sauer added that none of Trump's lenders and business partners were harmed by the discrepancies in the financial statements, an argument that Trump's lawyers made throughout the case. There were no victims, there were no complaints, Sauer said. During his rebuttal argument, Sauer said that Vail had, quote, struggled to articulate any clear principle that would limit the state's enforcement power under the law. The lawyers accused Letitia James, a Democrat, of targeting a political adversary. Of course, back in September, before a 3-month trial with no jury, Engron found Trump liable for lying about his asset values and net worth for a decade. Again, it doesn't matter. The banks said it didn't matter. We were going to give him a loan. The banks were paid back. These judges seem skeptical. They're asking the right question. They will be highly likely that they will overturn this. And of course, the Georgia case is completely fallen apart. The Trump curse reigns supreme. Make sure you get your special printed, spiral-bound Tailgates for Trump cookbook to help support Tailgates for Trump. It's for a $25 donation to the site. I'll send that book to you and get some for your gifts, give some for friends, whatever you need to do. Don't forget that we also have a ton of stickers, our brand new Tailgates for Trump stickers and Kamala, the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. Stickers are going fast. I don't think I'm going to order more of those. So when those sell out, those sell out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.